What kind of game is Romeo Is Dead Man? It's a stylish action brawler with light platforming and a very linear structure. Think Killer is Dead energy mixed with the accessibility of something like Ratchet and Clank or Hi-Fi Rush, but with less mechanical variety. This is an action-adventure, spectacle-driven experience firsthand, and not a technical character action game with something like combo meters and big, large combos. Let's dive in a little more into what that means, and thank you to developers Grasshopper Manufacture Inc. for the free review copy. So, is the combat fun or just flashy? The combat feels good and is genuinely fun, but it's absolutely spectacle first. There's some animation lock-ins that can make things feel really weighty rather than snappy, especially during attacks and jumps, and it's not a deal breaker, just pretty noticeable. You get 4 melee weapons and 4 ranged weapons, all unlocked pretty early in the story, which lets you commit to a playstyle fast or, flip between them. Of course, for me, I'm the Unga Bunga heavy sword plus, missile launcher guy, but, you can do you. How deep does this combat system actually go? Here's where expectations matter. You have light and heavy attacks, jump attacks, dodge attacks, one special skill per weapon with slight contextual variations, and that is basically it. The special skill that changes based on movement, like your dodge or jump attack, is cool, but the combo system is very simple. You'll find your optimal loop really quickly, and the game never really pushes beyond that point. And does the game reward skill or mastery for that? Not really. This is very much a turn your brain off action game until near the end of the game, where they just throw countless monsters at you. But you can master the combat and make fights a lot cleaner, but you don't necessarily need to. Does the ultra-violent style add anything meaningful? Yes. Honestly, this is why the game works as well as it does. The ultra-violence adds momentum, energy, and satisfaction that carries the experience from the start to the finish. And I mean, it is very stylish. It is pure Suda Goichi charm. Bold visuals, great clarity even during chaos, memorable designs. It's philosophical in the Suda way, absurd, occasionally brilliant, occasionally nonsense. Is a story worth caring about? Mostly with one big exception. The world concepts and side characters are great. A lot of them are super memorable and entertaining, but Romeo and Juliet's core relationship, it just didn't land for me. Romeo has better chemistry with everyone else, and his motivation for Juliet boils down to, quote, I like her because I do. The idea is cool, but the execution between them kind of feels underbaked, personally. If you're wondering how long the game is, expect about 12 to 15 hours. The first half moves along pretty well. The pacing is really tight for the first couple of levels. The second half of the game kind of drags. Side content exists, but the payoff is ultimately disappointing. Side dungeons reuse enemies. There's no unique bosses in these different areas. They're just the same mini bosses you already fought in the main story. And even in the first part of the game, they hint at different Juliets that Romeo fought, and you never get to fight them yourself, which, it just really sucks. Felt like a great opportunity to throw them in there. And speaking of the side content, does the game introduce any new mechanics over time? The truth is they barely add new mechanics after the first level or two. Almost everything the game has to offer is shown within the first level, and after that it's remixing some of the same ideas with new enemy combinations, and this is one of the game's biggest missed opportunities. Now, the enemy variety is actually solid. You got flying nuisances, chargers, assassins, enemies that are slimy and shoot lasers, caltrop dropping gecko, scorpion type enemies. I mean, the types are pretty good, it's just the scenarios around them aren't. Levels repeat layouts, and one level being reused without any structural changes outright feels like a late development compromise. Just feels like there was a lot of uniqueness that was taken away or stripped that could have been added. And I can't spoil anything, but just like the last level in general is so boring to look at because it's just like squares everywhere. Now, are there any cool side systems? There is a zombie farming minigame that is conceptually fun, and I think for me the best part of the whole game. It just sucks that in practice it's painfully slow, animation locked, menu heavy, and desperately needs quality of life improvement. You're basically just like growing zombies that have special powers, and you can use them over and over and then like upgrade them and breed new ones. It just sucks that like it's not fast. It takes a while to like do all of that upgrading and farming. It's charming but not efficient or like satisfying long term. And how is the difficulty? There are multiple difficulties, and I love that they present the idea to you in the form of chocolates. That's like super clever and definitely pseudo-charmed. I think the difficulty is fair. I just want to point out that the most memorable thing for me is whenever you get a game over, and I don't want to spoil it here in case you play the game, but it is surprising and kind of threw me off a bit, not gonna lie. There's a roulette system where your mom can give you buffs, sometimes even an instant revive instead of having to start back from checkpoint. So, you know, it's stylish, funny, and kind of removes some frustration, but it also reinforces how low the overall challenge is if it's going to give you buffs for losing. The music and sound design is excellent. Music is so good. The sound design just enhances the combat, the screens, the menus. Everything blends so good together that there's just no complaints here on that end. The style carries the experience way harder than the mechanics do, and if the visuals were turned down a little bit, I think the cracks would show a lot faster. So this game is for, you know, Grasshopper loyalists, casual action fans that aren't too crazy about Devil May Cry, and players that are craving something just weird, unique, violent, and stylish. You know, more about the vibes and momentum. You know, if you're looking for something that has deep RPG systems, expecting like a true character action game, anyone hoping for layered combo depth or boss complexity, you know, this might not ring as good for you. One of the game's highlights too is kind of like an homage to Persona, when like a character will remove their head to transform into like this big monster. It just feels really cool Persona style, and that's genuinely memorable for me. Yeah, so if you want like a simplified Devil May Cry style game with some insane Suda Goichi flair, this delivers. If you're expecting like Killer is Dead but deeper, bigger, and like more refined, you might walk away a little disappointed. It's a wild ride, fun while it lasts, but you know, one that leaves you wishing there was just a little bit more. And I think we can all agree that's exactly how Suda Goichi likes it. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want more unique, weird RPG kind of games, click this video to see why Kingdom of Night will surprise you. As always, keep gaming and stay awesome.